It reminds me, now that you mentioned it, my first hand in the game I lost earlier today. I did have middle east scoring, somewhat poor ops, but okay, it went well for the first turn. I was up 4 or something, and yeah, down 19 after the early wars. So good luck, Jarib.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a tricky hand. So happy to see Middle East scoring, of course, but he's going to have to hold de Gaulle for blockade, not be able to just get rid of it and fill up France. So yeah, limited ops, no 4 ops here, but he does have a good headline in Middle East scoring. So we will see. What Stryker comes up with to attack Jarib here, but he'll be happy to get those 4 VPs out of the way, barring, of course, a Nasser headline.
Certainly, although to be frank, for turn 1 I don't really bother with blockade. I mean, usually it doesn't happen unless comboed with the purge, in which case either way it doesn't matter to hold the card for it since you don't have any 4 ops. So if the opponent happens to actually blockade you on turn 1, well, tough. You lose out on that, but that happens 1 out of, I don't know, 20 games when somebody actually used blockade against me on turn 1 and it hits. Because I neglected to hold the 3 op. So my advice to everybody, yeah, on turn 1, don't bother. If it's convenient, sure. If it's not, just use whatever you want.
Okay, so
one exception, yeah, you don't use your intervention too early, of course, because then if you have already cut the size of your hand, then it's very tempting to use blockade, of course.
Right. Yes, you don't want to invite the US to use blockade. And Michael going with his what I don't know if that's a standard opening for him, but I've now watched 2 games of Michael's as the USSR. He has set up 4-5 both times with no access to Italy. Zima, what do you think of that setup?
Yeah, I kind of don't like it. I mean, now there's no reason to keep 4 influence in Italy. Unless Jarib wants to event the goal this turn, he can easily go for a 3-2 setup, or even a safer 4 or 1-3, knowing that it's very unlikely for an Italy coup to succeed.
Yeah, so the 4-5 setup just advertises that Michael is not going to be headlining socialist governments and he's not going to be coupping Italy. So yeah, it looks like Jarib's going to stick 1 in France despite having de Gaulle in his hand. So that suggests he's going to hold it for blockade and then potentially space it.
Yes, looks like it. I would say hold it because it's a very good blockade discard and it can even be played. Ooh, okay.
So Stryker catches the Middle East scoring with a Nasser, so that'll get out of the deck for nothing. Still a good headline for Jarib. Usually a Nasser headline means the USSR is on its way to dominating the Middle East, so he gets rid of the obligation in his hand. Now, no real problem cards for Jarib in this hand, but also not a lot of ops.
Exactly. One big joker is, of course, the Indo-Pakistani war. If it gets to that either player puts influence in Pakistan, that will be a huge factor.
Now, after a Nasser headline, I know a typical AR1 play for the USSR is to spread into Libya and take either Syria or Lebanon for domination. But obviously with the Middle East score, he's not going to do that. Would you expect just a traditional Iran coup here?
Yeah, I mean, without access to Italy, an Italy coup is not a huge threat. So, Iran seems like the best bet, despite it being scored already. I mean, just cutting access to Asia is good enough here.
Yeah, Iran itself not that important right now, but certainly Iran, Pakistan, and India together very important. And being the first one to access those countries is a big advantage, even though Jarib is holding the war.
Definitely, it's surprising that Michael is thinking for so long here. I mean, if not a coup, maybe Italy, okay, if he's being adventurous, or Iran, I really don't see a move here. Vietnam revolt would have been weird. Okay, a very adventurous decal maybe, but even that is slightly less effective with 1 influence in France already.
Yeah, I don't. He may be thinking about a decal here.
Although traditionally it's done at DEFCON 4 or 2, of course.
Okay. Wow, and a big 6. So,
Right.
Zemo, it might be a little too early for this. I know we're still getting used to working together here, but a low op coup like that, rolling a 6 and taking a country when only a 6 would do, is that the case for a dang girl?
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps a little too early for that.
Oh, yeah, I kind of use it in a different situation, not when I'm just tossed around with first an annoying headline and then a haiku with a throwaway card like that. I mean, if you coup with a 2-op, you're kind of hoping for a 4 in this scenario, yeah, but a 6? That's just too bloody annoying.
Yeah, that's got to be annoying for Jarib. Certainly, a 4 would have, certainly Michael would have been thrilled with a 4, but to get a 6, and Jarib doesn't have the ops to think about a coup back, so he's just going to take the safe play and get into Malaysia.
Well, he'll have to coup somewhere, but he's probably worried about losing access to Asia. One big problem is that even if he coups back, it's probably with a 4-op, with a 2-op, sorry. Because you really want to keep that duck and cover for, I don't know, Deco or Vietnam revolts to grab Thailand.
Yeah, so he'd have to coup with a 2-op, and he'd need to roll a 5 to get anything in Iran. And even if he did that, Stryker would then have the last coup. Or, of course, Stryker could have played Vietnam revolts. And the fact that Stryker thought so hard about that Iran coup, which is normally just kind of an automatic play on turn 1, suggests that he may have some other access-granting card, Vietnam, decall, destall, that he was considering playing earlier. So definitely important to get in Malaysia. And indeed, there it is.
Yeah. Okay, I always find this move very annoying because it's very hard to decide how to respond to it. I mean, you want to do so many things. You want to coup Angola, you want to coup Laos, you want to take Thailand. It creates so many threats. It's an excellent move, of course.
Yes,
Okay,
there's lots of good things Jarib can do. But okay.
Okay, so I guess you now surrender Nigeria and grab Thailand. Though this is something of a problem for Michael as well. I mean, you want to coup Angola. Even for the cost of losing Thailand, you get Pakistan, Angola, Zaire. All that is threatened if you don't. Whoa!
Okay, so Michael did have access. So he gets the Angola coup, and
Thailand.
Do you like the China card flip here from Michael? Playing the China card on turn 1? CIA unseen. Obviously, duck and cover has been seen, but what do you think? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's very tricky. I really don't like playing the China card on turn 1, not only because of CIA, but also since it helps USA keep a card until after the reshuffle. If he gets both Deco and Distal, he has a chance of holding them both.
Yes. Now, of course, Decall and Vietnam Revolts now both played. So Destall, though, could be important on turn 2 if Michael doesn't already have that. And Asia looking quite good for Michael here. Now, of course, there's the wild card of the IP war. But Michael first to Thailand, he's in Laos, and then he's in Iran as well. So Jarib on the back foot a little bit here.
Oh, definitely. Especially since his last 2 moves will be taking France and spacing the goal, because practically he doesn't have any other choice. I mean, he sort of has to keep Indo-Pakistani war as a backup for turn 2.
Yes, Indo-Pak would be a good hold here. So I imagine Truman to fill France, and then de Gaulle will be held to AR6 and then spaced. Michael with no access to France yet. I wonder. Oh my goodness.
Okay, I kind of start getting his dilemmas. I mean, he got all access cards. Every single bloody one of them.
Would you think about a Truman event here to knock Michael out of France?
Yeah, as disgusting
that's a little bit weak.
Probably not. Yeah,
but
that calls for Indo-Pakistani war. As sad as this is, I think, definitely an awesome start for Michael, despite somewhat weak ops. Because his ops so far weren't great. Maybe he has a problem 4-op, of course.
Jarib thinking about that event.
Yeah, I understand him perfectly. It's such a dilemma what to do now. I mean, so many things you wanted to do, but you can't.
Yeah, so okay, so he goes for the event, and now and leaving Michael without access to France. He now has the IP war to play, but boy, I think you want to take France.
But can you afford that?
Yeah,
There's also a matter of Middle East. I mean, if you space the goal as your last move, Suez kills you in the Middle East.
Yeah, he wants to get into Lebanon here for sure.
Yeah, but also France, also Colombia. There's so many alsos here.
Yeah, we have not seen a single 4-op from either side. Okay, and there's the war.
We shall not. Okay, so Colombia doesn't matter now.
Yeah, Colombia
So,
less important.
Space or France, Lebanon? I think I would sacrifice the war, just to not to be thrown entirely out of. No! Come on, has to be Lebanon. No, that's a mistake.
Yeah. Oh, I think Lebanon is
he
much
definite?
more important here. Okay, no, he goes Costa Rica to protect Panama. All right. Draws blockade, turn 2. Also gets Marshall.
Okay. So, the factor is kind of problematic here. I mean, you want to grab Suez with the factors, you don't want to grab Europe, but we haven't seen socialists as well. So I think I would gamble with the factors.
Yeah, I think a defector's probably better
Either
than
that or
Marshall
Marshall
here.
because we
Yeah,
also haven't
Marshall's
seen NATO.
strong.
But
And if Michael were in Yugoslavia or Austria, I think Marshall would be great here to protect Italy. But
actually, Marshall might be better because it gives you access to Syria, so you get a back route to the Middle East.
Yes, and obviously no danger that Michael has the scoring.
Jarib went through the similar thought process, I guess. I mean, you'll be giving up Comic-Con this turn anyway, so you need another guy in Italy.
Yes. Okay, so he's going to go Marshall. And so now what is Jarib afraid of? Certainly doesn't want to get purged. With blockade in hand means he's going to have to hold blockade and give up Fidel probably or China.
Ooh la la, so defectors was the play after all.
Yeah. I think Jarib would have liked to defector that. Europe is pretty well locked down now, but a 5-year plan could be in Michael's hand as well.
True. In turn, Asia is just red. I mean, okay, maybe Jarib can fight for a while. He can take Korea after all, since the card has been played. But no, the country count shouldn't be enough. He'll grab 2, 4, 6 at the most. So maybe.
Yes, and Stryker with the war gone. Jarib purged and not controlling the scoring, I would expect to just see a coup of Panama here, and then Stryker's free to spread out in Asia. The fact that Stryker's thinking so long maybe
suggests
potentially he has CAA. The other thing I was thinking of is perhaps he does not have Asia and maybe wants to take domination. But yeah, I think you have to coup here, and there it is.
Kind of do.
Okay, so Jarib's Costa Rica play looks to be a good one here, but still, I think Lebanon important. He can take it now, though.
Well, kind of has to. And I think South Korea still.
Yeah, I think South Korea would be a good one because you've got just one more 2-op play, and then the rest are 1-op plays. Blockade obviously has to be held. De Gaulle has to be spaced.
Yeah, Fidel is another hold card, of course. No, you need South Korea here. If Michael just grabs it, you'll never have the country count.
Yeah, that.
Of course, it would take a nuclear test ban, because NATO is a bit inconvenient since we haven't seen special relationship yet. US-Japan is no play, of course.
What about getting to space here, Zimoid? I love to get de Gaulle out of the deck on turn 1 or 2 as the USSR, but under Purge, you can't. I don't think you can do that because then it's an empty action round. You give access to Algeria, and then France is no longer overprotected. So I think you've got a space. Would you try and get to space very quickly here?
Well,
Michael,
you'll get the answer soon. Yeah,
okay,
no
so
rush.
now there's no rush.
Okay, one slight problem. What do you use the rest of influence from the China card? You've got room for 3. Philippines and South Korea. Nah, okay, don't like that. Space or go for Asia?
Yeah, so he could take Philippines and South Korea, which would give him 6 countries and make it ops intensive for Michael to get that domination. But
yeah, it shouldn't be possible then. But in any case, Algeria felt like it's not very urgent.
Algeria potentially suggesting. I wonder if that suggests that Jarib plans to get to event de Gaulle and get it out of the deck. And they're just the 2 in South Korea. Okay, well now taking South Korea off the table unless.
Yeah, I'm still taking.
Jarib wants to spend China.
No, for me, China is a no-brainer here. Regardless of Asia situation, I cannot play a blockade and will not play Fidel. And I am perfectly ready to sacrifice the China cards for it. Of course, it would have been better without. What? Why? Come, okay, China card important, I know, but still. Yeah, another reason I don't like this Algeria move. Before that, US had no decent coup target. So you could have left it like that for the entire turn. You don't have to take any coupable battleground, leaving the Soviets possibly with a dilemma for turn 3. Of course, he might be
interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
He might be going for the CIA play. I mean, we haven't seen CIA yet. Whoa, really? Okay, plenty of ops. That's his 3rd 4-op, I think.
Yes, so he had NATO,
okay, please
Purge.
Space now, come on. You have to do it anyway. Whatever you do, whatever you play. Okay. Okay, he got it. Yeah, but with South Korea... Okay, first, it's obvious that Michael doesn't have Asia, or he would not have given US-Japan right now.
Yep, so, and it's obvious to Stryker that Jarib doesn't have it either, so certainly I would think Stryker would take India for the end of the turn. And then if he just takes India, that would give him 6 countries to Jarib's 5, but Jarib can put 1 in Philippines. So that's an early containment suggesting 5-year plan Europe. Yep.
Okay, do you get rid of blockade here? Probably not.
So yeah, blockade to getting rid of Comic-Con to take Philippines is an interesting play.
Comic-Con is so useful. I don't like it. Too bad that he listened to our advice with the goal.
Ooh, interesting. Interesting, looking at a Cuba realign. Yeah. So this will be 5-year plan. I assume 3 ops to take India, and then 2 of them will take India, of course.
And 1 Syria, I guess.
Yep, that makes sense too.
Okay, so far looks a big advantage for Michael since he's dumping Europe. The score doesn't show it yet, but the map definitely does. A good position in Asia, domination in the Middle East, advantage in Africa, South America. One problem could be the CIA, but we have seen duck and cover. Whoa, really? Why not India?
Maybe he's afraid of the war. Must be. Or he's afraid of the war or a
jam.
jam.
But it's 1 in 6 instead of 1 in 5. Okay, I guess you grab that and what? Yeah, what to do with the last man standing? France is one option, of course.
Yeah, I was thinking about France. A little passive, a little weak, but protecting against de Gaulle. Right now, Europe is the only region where you are ahead, so you
Yeah.
certainly want to keep it that way. And Jordan, to give access to Saudi Arabia, I guess not bad.
Yeah, but it's also always so sad to grab these 3 stability battlegrounds, even if it doesn't even stop the domination. Well, as long as Syria is taken, of course. Oops. And
How do you get CIA?
Yeah, and no good card to headline.
And not certainly not what Jarib wanted to see here. He can UN Suez, I guess, to get 3 ops out of it now.
Yeah.
Now that he's gotten rid of blockade, so he's happy to see blockade gone. He does get 1 4-op, but does not. It also does not draw Asia scoring. So I would assume that if he had drawn Asia scoring, he might headline it in hopes of not seeing decal or Vietnam.
True.
But
Wonder if
now
CIA
Michael,
could be a decent play here. Not a fan, of course, but Olympic.
yeah, Olympics not great. CIA to potentially, I guess, coup Nigeria.
Yeah, exactly that. Although you might be getting a bit desperate at this point already, and well, just hope for a DEFCON win already.
Yeah, keeping CIA around to the late war is got to be attractive as well.
Though surviving until late war.
Yes, you have to get there first.
Whoa! Okay, he will survive.
Okay, so that all
1,
3
2,
scorings.
3. Hello. Finally, a weak hand for Michael.
Interesting that he went with. He just decided to headline Europe. Didn't want to go socialist. I guess just hoping to run into defectors. Clearly, didn't want to go socialist, dump Europe, and give up a coup.
Yeah, he has many vulnerabilities. So probably that's why. Okay, cool Nigeria and suffer. And no 4-ops, no Korean War, I think. So you can very well fight for Asia. Okay, you can do nothing in the Middle East, so just don't bother. Take Nigeria.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. Yeah, I think the Nigeria coup is right. Hope you get at least a 3. Oh, that's a killer.
Oh man. Okay, but knowing Michael, he will now overprotect South Korea and take India. Although, yeah, actually he might not bother, because if he gets the China card out of this deal, that's decent as well. 3-op, 2 India, 1 Syria. That would be my play, I think. Just inviting you to use the China card in South Korea.
I think Jarib would probably take him up on that offer to avoid the domination. Right?
Well, he could go for Laos, Cambodia as well. That would work. So
Yep.
Michael might be thinking about boosting that. 2 India, 1 Laos, Cambodia. He has 2 3-ops perfectly playable, so he can get that value from that. The other, he might want to boost South America some further, of course. So yeah, you don't want to spend too much time fighting for Asia. But I would like to at least swindle the China card out of it.
Yes, always nice to be holding the China card in going into the mid-war, even if CIA is gone. So on Harib's side, would you think about spacing Arab-Israeli war here? I think it's probably a good space card if Michael is not going to get mill-ops, and I didn't see either war in his hand. He could, of course, coup Nigeria. He could coup Nicaragua, though.
He will, of course.
Yeah.
So you might as well just adjust to the reality that you will be using Arab-Israeli war, probably. Okay, you might take a chance on 1 in 6 after taking what's that, Jordan.
Yeah, and so now the other question, I guess, is Michael wants to protect Cuba, but with 2 other scoring cards in his hand, that's got to be a low priority for him. Do you think Jarib will go for those real lines this turn?
Well, if Michael threatens a domination, I assume Jarib will have to first answer to that
Yes.
threat. Right, so to India? No! He wants to grab everything! How greedy!
Okay, so yeah, he wants to shut down access here and then grab India.
Yeah. Okay, can Jarib do anything about it? Possibly not.
I like this play from Stryker.
It has one big disadvantage. I mean, it takes almost all of his ops to achieve that. So, yeah, first of all, we can take advantage of Cuba situation. But I think I would fight for Asia, maybe even double break Thailand. Don't remember the specifics of Michael's hand. But he has only one more playable trio, I think. So if he, yeah, but that's
Yeah, I
enough.
wonder if I wonder if
enough.
Harib might take Taiwan.
That's not enough, I think. Oh no, it's enough against only India. Oh, unlucky.
Yes, Michael would have to take both India and Burma if Harib decided to take Taiwan. And Harib tries to realign, misses on both rolls despite the +1 advantage, so certainly annoying for him.
Yes. And that totally breaks the momentum. I mean, Michael just takes Middle East right now because, well, he has to anyway.
Yeah, I think just getting the scoring out is good here. That's going to be 5 for Michael, looks like, even up the score.
Exactly. He might be thinking about the coup, but that's probably a bit much. Although, then again, I mean, he has to cook to get the millet anyway. He might know about. Ooh, okay, weird. No, didn't like that. Really didn't like that.
Okay, so Harib gets a
that should have
6-1.
been a coup, I think. Maybe the scoring, but definitely not space. Okay,
Yeah, I'm surprised to see him go to space.
Yeah, that could have waited so easily. Okay. So, now what? Still not showing his hand regarding Asia. Yeah, maybe it's just time to start taking stuff.
Yeah, getting to Panama and Mexico. So, in addition to Europe, which was just scored, Harib will have an advantage in Central America as well. So Michael, in order to get domination, he's going to have to flip Vietnam, which Harib could just flip back, or he's got to take both India and Burma, but he doesn't have a 4-op to do that. So I think Harib should be able to stop this domination.
True, but at a horrible cost.
Yeah, he's going to have to take Taiwan, which is annoying for him.
Yeah.
Stryker also is not going to have the time to adequately fill South America, so a VOA, a turn 4 VOA from Harib would be quite welcome, although he might use it in Africa in that case to completely wipe out Stryker.
That's always the risk that one of the bloody events will come back and grab Angola. But at least Michael finally had a bad role in this game, his first one I think, when he lost Cuba. And whoa, okay, so he's sacrificing that attempt. I mean, no, the mid-war position is important, but I really didn't like that.
I'm surprised that Michael would overprotect those battlegrounds and then not go for the domination. I liked the play to overprotect him, but then I think I might have filled India first.
Yeah.
But you know what? Michael's one of the all-time greats, and I'm just here commenting on the game. So, I trust Michael. He's got a 4 VP lead.
Not very, I know the word consequent. I mean, first he overprotects South Korea, and then doesn't even try to get a domination out of Asia. I mean, he should have done either one or the other. with his high demand for ops. Okay. All right, exactly. And yeah, that's a bit of a problem where to go next.
Would you think about Colombia here?
That's an obvious coup target.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really help. You really don't want to give more influence in Colombia. So it's pretty clever from Michael to withhold the coup until his last AR.
Okay, and Jarib decides to beef up Mexico there. So he does have Central America control. Cuba, pretty secure after Fidel is gone. So Jarib ahead in Europe and in Central America, but yeah.
Okay.
And so Michael's going to give up his 2 VPs, which is, I assume, this you have to space here, yeah?
Yes, of course.
Yep. Save your VPs. He misses on the roll, but gets 2 VPs out of it.
And that's a solid hand.
Yeah. Not much in the way of ops, but certainly happy to see Junta. And Duck
good
and Cover
enough.
is gone,
No.
so Missile Envy's safe. But I think...
Yeah, Junta is probably... Although, I always have a dilemma. Too many riches suddenly for Jarib. I always have a dilemma where when is it better to use Junta over Missile Envy. Okay, he's greedy. I mean, I do like Missile Envy as it also damages the AR1.
Yes, and with a headline like Liberation coming from Michael, I think that is important, that Michael's response here can only be 2 ops. Certainly, Jarib hoping to hit We Will Bury You, hoping to hit Muslim Revolution.
Yeah, but he has firepower, so the odds of him getting a great card aren't that high. He has one of them, and we haven't seen... No, we have seen NATO and US Japan, so there's only one US forum available, I think. Plus, of course, some nuclear test ban and the like. But it is very important just to limit the possibilities. Although I expect...
Yes.
Okay, depending on what is given, might be interesting to just grab Panama as Mike, although that renders Africa.
Yeah, yes, Marshall is gone, NATO is gone, and US Japan is gone. Okay, Cuban.
Right, so
I think Jarib was hoping for something better than that.
Panama.
Yeah.
Okay, now you have to take Cuba to at least make it more expensive to withdraw that influence. So, which one? I wonder if it makes sense to realign Cuba.
Yeah, I was wondering that, if you want to realign here and stop and make sure that the...
Whoa! That's nice.
Big spender. I think that's what we call that.
Definitely, Mr. Big Spender, but a very impressive big spender. I mean, simultaneously, he restores the Central America domination and sets up a realignment against Panama, which cannot be stopped.
So that would be that. Yeah. Yes, that's a big play there in Central America.
Okay, come on. That was such a ballsy play. No, because now Michael can just put one overpay, in Cuba, withdraw it, and he's free to coup. Although I think the game engine doesn't allow that to do it immediately. That's a bug. I think you can.
Yeah, I sorry to interrupt you, Zim, but I've had trouble with that myself. I like to. Sometimes I might want to say, you know what? I'll remove the influence now, so it does get realigned out, even if I don't want a coup right away. And I have trouble doing that.
Okay. So, yeah, I would grab Nigeria here, no questions asked. Yeah, put one more. No, come on, you need one more.
Yep, I think that's right.
Especially if he's going to get hit by an 8 VP here.
So on the topic of, I know the Middle East has been scored. Oh, no, there's your 8 VP.
Yeah, luckily not many sources for Michael to get more mid-ups, but then again, OPEC is 4, space is 2.
I mean, we saw Michael win in a steamroll in his last appearance on ARZ, won in a turn 6 steamroll and didn't score a domination the entire game, just picking up VPs from space and OPEC and other little things. So Jarib is going to set up those realigns.
Exactly, and rightly so. So he's going to space sometime soon. One problem is that junta. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, those realignments are suddenly not as awesome.
Little surprised that Michael didn't dump that immediately, but I guess he figured that it wasn't going to get worse.
Yeah, and he figures that, well, South America has priority. Okay, space didn't work. I think I would event Tehran here soon. I really want to get rid of OPEC. Okay, yes, that's important that that Jarib doesn't get it.
Now, I know the Middle East has been scored, but would you use defectors to put one in Egypt and then event Sadat just to take it away?
Probably
or is that too
not.
many ops for an already scored region?
If anything, I would just make Sadat my AR7.
Okay.
Okay, that puts
one on David.
Probably not that important, since I don't believe Michael is going to give up a coup target. I mean, if I'm not getting mill-ups, you're not getting mill-ups. Seems to be his policy. Okay, defectors probably still realign Panama, I think.
Yeah. I think that is.
I mean, there's nothing else to do here on this map. That's
the only unscored region: Africa and Southeast Asia, and Jarib doesn't have access to Burma.
Right, turn 4, and everything is out except for these two. Oh, that was quick.
I mean, I suppose you could realign Angola at even, but it's AR6. Michael could just go right back in there if he wants to, so that's not particularly effective.
Sadat here is, I guess, an option, not a great one. You want to play Sadat a bit later, after all. Just that I think Michael might be tricky as to coup now. Now, these rolls. Jarib, finally. If he coups now, he creates a threat and sort of messes with the US AR7.
Yeah, but he's only got one op in Cuba, so he's not going to be able to coup. Oh, there's his mill ops.
Tricky villain, and he gets it. Ooh la la. If it wasn't for Central, we might have a game over here soon.
Yeah, certainly Stryker's got to be, Jarib's got to be getting a little uncomfortable here at 14. He does draw OPEC, so happy to see that in his hand.
And nuclear subs. Okay. Yeah, how do you play this hand? Junta is a good start, because you defend Africa that way.
Yeah, definitely want to protect Nigeria.
Then you follow it up maybe with nuclear subs.
Yeah, nuclear subs to truly attack Africa would be good.
Although any Chinese player worth his salt in Michael's place would have ABM in his hand, coup Nigeria, and after seeing nuclear subs, just dump the sink for one.
Yes.
That's what they do.
So, do you think you'd see one small step evented here just to catch up on the space race, even though there's no VPs at stake?
Well, definitely, if only he has time with the nuclear subs. Okay. Yeah. That's juicy. How much can he get? Yeah, not enough to win the game. Finally, a good roll. Right. Yep. He can get one more from that. No, not more than that. Okay, after a coup in Colombia, expect massive evolution to retake Egypt and Panama.
Yep, that is nice to get that out of your hand.
If he were to, I mean, hurry, but no, he doesn't have time to realign Venezuela. That's the problem. He'll have
Yeah,
to
if he's going to go for an
focus
Africa control with
on
nuclear
Africa.
subs, yeah.
And he doesn't have that many cars to coup with. I mean, Puppets and Summit are the ones you kind of want to use for that purpose.
Puppets is not great here. Colonial rear guards, I think, would certainly be invented. I think you could put one in Burma.
Oh, definitely.
But with the Vietnam revolts in play, maybe not that effective. And certainly could take some African non-battlegrounds. But yeah, Puppets and Summit, decent coup cards. One Small Step is a good coup card, but I think you want to event that Stop Michael's double space.
Oh, definitely. That 3 VP bonus from space is another one you really, really, really don't want him to get. Okay,
Yes.
he grabs. Ah, clever critter. Yeah. Yeah, Muslim is suddenly a bit annoying. So what do you do now? You really don't want to give up Brazil.
No, that's your only foothold in South America.
Maybe Summit, but then he coups Colombia, I expect. And you're back to square one. I mean, you want that to have the opportunity to use nuclear subs, but he's just not giving it to you.
Yeah, and then... So yeah, I assume OPEC's got to go to space, and then you want to hold Purge to the next turn?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be Colombia.
Exhibit A. He's just stealing action rounds.
Yeah.
Okay, that's... Okay, you can give that a try, I guess.
So that would be a strong play. That would be a much stronger play if Vietnam revolts weren't in effect.
Exactly.
So if Jarib does flip, even if he flips Thailand with the China card, which there's no way Stryker would let him do, I mean, Stryker could just flip it back with a Garden Variety 4-up. Although we are running low on those. I think it may be that ABM is the only one out. The 3 U.S. ones are gone. We've seen Flower Power, we've seen Muslim, and we've seen We Will Bury You. Obviously, Purge. Nuclear test ban, I believe. Jarib drew that on turn 3, I want to say.
Okay. Okay.
So we are running low on 4-ops.
Okay, at least he's not taking advantage of the bonus. So, decision time. Nuclears? Or just surrendering? He's surrendering Egypt. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's for the best.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right play.
So what will he do with that?
I think
Panama and Vietnam would be one option.
Yeah, or you would like to take Burma, certainly.
Oh, okay. Like this. Maybe one more into India in that case. Because where else?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Once again, he's stealing action rounds.
Yeah, this could have been a big nuclear subs turn, but Michael preempting that by creating a lot of different threats. Now, Jarib does still have Africa domination, but he would have loved to get control.
Ooh,
okay.
And suddenly Africa loses parts of its value. Okay, at least
so certainly if we'd seen a nuclear subs event, Michael would have scored that immediately.
Oh yes, so maybe it's better just to use it in a regular manner. Just to create a threat.
So now everything's scored except for Southeast Asia, which is pretty well locked down. And so it looks pretty likely that this one will get into the late war, or at least turn 7.
Oh, definitely. Although there's still Brush War and ABM. Also, Grain and Voice. Both
yes.
We haven't seen yet, so turn 6 Purge would have been quite interesting. Okay, just trading coups after a high one. Oh, that's not okay. That's maybe a puppet, but no, you probably want to take advantage of the space. OPEC.
Yeah, I think I might space OPEC one small step in some order, get to that headline peak.
There may be puppets into Colombia and Uruguay just to keep Michael sort of busy.
Yeah,
Maybe
and then
even
maybe
event.
Saudi Arabia as well.
Exactly. I was thinking about using it
I
for
like
ops. What? One small step first. Not sure I like that. Though
Either
it's-
way, it's the same role. So you need the same role.
Yeah, but there might be a case for using one small step for ops, but OPEC is definitely a space. So,
Yes, that's true.
and I don't think he should be waiting for Kennedy to bail him out of that. Okay, space. So finally a problem card. Space, I assume.
Perhaps
No.
Jarib was hoping that he missed that roll, hoping that he hit that roll so he couldn't space voice and grain coming up.
Okay, Jarib is preparing for late war, grabbing battlegrounds. But he's obviously fishing for Kennedy here, because you really want to hold the purge for the next turn.
Yeah, definitely want to hold purge, and and unless he wants to hold OPEC this turn and next turn and to make sure Stryker never gets it, but I think that's awfully conservative. I'd like to space it, get to headline peak.
True. Especially since you don't have that much of an AR-7 threat here. I mean, you could grab Pakistan with China, I guess. Assuming you really want to hold the purge on account of its great value.
We have, I believe we've also not seen the gunman either.
Oh, definitely.
Not seen Quagmire. So there's a couple of scary red cards still out there.
Okay.
Well, there's gunman.
Yeah, delayed, so that... Okay.
I think we just go to space here. He will miss as well.
And southeast. The purge. And Brezhnev. That's big. He has Brezhnev, so Michael doesn't. That's an auto purge here.
Purge and 5-year plan if Michael has grain.
Good call. Exactly. You might want to investigate the status of duck and cover before you do that. Don't remember.
I believe
myself.
Duck was spaced on turn 3. So I think that is safe.
Yeah, in that case, go for it. I mean, the game is somewhat against you. You didn't get Brush, you didn't get ABM.
Yeah, now Stryker, of course, could have Salt. He could have, any number of things that could save him from losing. But, Purge.
What? Why?
Ooh.
I mean, okay, he sort of stops any coups, but...
I wonder if he might be thinking, I'm going to lower DEFCON to 2, then Purge, then 5-year plan.
Yeah, but if Michael doesn't have anything to gain on AR1, okay, he will have something to gain.
Yeah, okay.
Right, so now Southeast Asia is getting expensive because
that's
Michael... Otherwise, he would have spaced grain if he has it.
Yeah, that's not great. But lowering DEFCON to 2, because now Stryker's free to take advantage of his the mess he's about to make in Southeast Asia.
Exactly. Well, after the purge, there won't be that much of a mess.
Yeah.
But still, after the purge, Deco, I mean, he either kills or loses a battleground in Africa.
Perhaps Jarib is thinking about arms race and wanted to guarantee that he gets off arms race.
Bit, maybe. Okay,
Yeah,
he grabs Indonesia. Okay, please purge him now.
Yeah, I think a purge now. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah, so Southeast Asia is now pretty safe. I mean, Michael will never grab all these non-battlegrounds. But yeah, that approach, if he wins on account of grain cells this turn, that will be really clever.
Stryker would need to not have a card like Bear Trap. He would not need to not have assault. Nuclear subs we have seen.
It's even bear trap. I mean, come on, you bear trap yourself under a perch. That hurts.
Yeah.
Besides, you need to bear trap yourself so that you stay bear trapped.
Yes, you'd need to bear trap yourself on AR6 and then intentionally not get out of the trap and hold grain sales over to turn 7. It's very painful. But yeah, I like this line of play. When you're behind, you need to make some Hail Mary plays. So yeah, I think perhaps not purging initially to make sure that Stryker didn't dump grain sales or something like that. But boy, eventing grain sales on yourself is so painful. Okay. BM. Misses. Jarib's going to ignore that and hit you, Surrey.
Actually hits Surrey.
That's a nice hit.
Fix the damage. No, come on, just fix it. Two stabs.
Yeah.
But damn, that's clever.
So yeah, I guess if Michael fixes that with only one op, then Jarib could use China to flip over Laos and then hit Burma, Malaysia.
Yeah, but do you really want to play China this turn? You might have.
I don't think you do. Yeah, you might want to play it and get cultural out. And he's going to just fix Laos there.
Okay, so I guess I guess you play China. Just take everything. Then cultural for the. No, I mean to retake Brazil.
Yep. And Southeast Asia now +2 for Jarib when it looked like -2 earlier. So that was a nice hit.
Indeed. One question is, of course, will Stryker suffer any significant damage? Okay, that's not a problem. So cultural first, I think. To grab Brazil at least. Maybe Colombia. I mean, okay, that invites a coup, which you don't maybe want that much with.
Yeah, you don't want the coup because you want to get arms race off.
Yeah, so Southeast Asia arms race. Maybe even start with arms race. Okay, yeah. Oh come on, just not Chile. Why Chile? I mean, Venezuela, Brazil, if anything. Sorry, Venezuela, Argentina, of course. That way you create a threat. You grab one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like that. But
not
obviously,
the arms race is good.
Jarib is very focused on just playing his moves he has planned earlier, practically ignoring whatever the opponent is doing. I think I would have sacrificed arms race to get Venezuela or Brazil here.
Yeah, that's true. Just being able to get one of them would be nice. Sacrifice to the 3 VPs because war games obviously is a possibility starting turn 8, but you're not in danger of losing this auto victory. So I wonder if he's got grain sales. Yeah, I bet you Stryker's got grain or voice, and he's going to bear trap himself. So now Jarib almost certainly has two action rounds in a row.
Yeah, that's a damn girl moment, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you for teaching me that. So, yeah. So now there's going to be 3 action rounds in a row for Jarib. He will get AR6. Michael will skip his AR7. He will get AR7. Then he will get his AR1 on the next turn. So Jarib can do some damage here. Yeah, he's got to get the scoring out. That's not going to get better. And no more scorings. No scorings definitely to be drawn on turn 7. But what would you do with this? Obviously, you're going to play Brezhnev, get it out of the deck.
Yeah,
you want to break Venezuela?
Yeah, just double break. Okay, maybe if I did the math on what is still out there, except for grain and voice, of course, I would brush. But yeah, nothing that could really make the difference for me. Kennedy. Yeah, nothing that will affect my choice, I think. I mean, an event against Europe might, if there's something like the goal. No, but I still think a double break of Venezuela is the way to go. Just make a draw in South America. No, not Argentina. Come on, Venezuela counts for OPEC. It's not vulnerable to touch of the betrayer.
No, indeed. Yeah, I like this Venezuela play here. Now, I think Jarib would have liked Stryker to hit on those space rolls. Okay, now, so Stryker is holding both grain and voice.
Yeah, okay, that's sort of a crappy hand. It's also holding Nixon. Yeah, nothing to make a mess here, and
it's pretty weak.
A flower power is active, also annoying. You don't want to go with Olympic here. I wouldn't put it past Michael to maybe even lower. Yes, he has Will Barry, doesn't he?
I believe we saw Will Barry played for Ops
really? Okay,
before.
I'm not paying that much attention, to be honest, if I'm not playing the game. So what do we do here? Maybe Latin American death squads. I mean, Venezuela looks like it might be tempting later.
Warsaw has got to still be in the deck. Otherwise, East European unrest and a potential jam in there maybe might be something. But with Warsaw still around, yeah, played on turn 3 by Michael. So I don't think so. That's not that great.
Yeah. Ironically, it's pretty good for Michael maybe even to miss a roll or two. He has Grain, Voice, Nixon, Kennedy, possibly some other US crap I haven't thought of yet.
Yeah. Certainly you don't want to be in the bear trap on AR1, but this is as good a hand as any to be bear trapped on.
Exactly.
So, and Stryker missed those couple of space rolls, so he'll be able to, whatever he doesn't get rid of to the bear trap, he'll be able to space. Probably play China and Nixon, I would think.
No,
because he's
still
got
hold on
Grain
to China.
With Grain, Voice, Nixon, that's hard. That's going to be hard to do.
Jarib was hopeful. Yeah, I think unless maybe you go in the Pakistani, since you probably have to use it on this turn anyway. But that's a sort of pessimistic approach. Pessimist / optimist, because you are hoping you will miss the brush war on Brazil, which will happen, possibly even in the headline. Yes, from the cards I could account for. Alright, Quagmire too. Fun. Definitely advantage firmly. Oh, is it on Michael? Yes, it's on Michael's side.
Okay.
So
Grain is gone.
Yeah, that should have been Che, but never mind. Because Willie is playable, Che is not.
No, certainly can't give up Che here. So Stryker gets out of the bear trap with minimal damage. I think you might just see a Venezuela coup followed by a Brazil brush.
I wonder if there's something better than rely on a coup, but yeah, maybe there's not.
Now, Zimowit, would you try and hold East European unrest till through this turn and headline it next turn to get a presenceless Europe?
I think so, although very much depends on the outcome of the coup and the brush war, because it's very hard for me to tell which side has an advantage here. From one side, there's central control, Europe and Africa domination versus only one domination, Middle Eastern, for the Soviets, but they also have 5 VPs already in the bank. And, well, the coup advantage, the brush opportunity, the China card. So I would probably wait for a moment, maybe until it clarifies. If it turns out that it's pretty bad, then I'm definitely holding the unrest and putting all my hopes in Europe. Though so far, it's a very good game.
Yeah, this is a very good game. Looked like Michael had a big edge early, but Jarib was able to hold on for a Central America domination. He was able to hold on for an Africa domination. Michael did get 8 points out of South America, and Middle East was good for Michael, but not great. He didn't threaten control or anything. And Jarib, despite a lack of access, was able to curtail an Asia domination from Michael. So certainly not a terrible story for Jarib, and he very much has a chance in the late war. Might even be ahead, depending on the outcome of this coup and this brush, just like you said, Zimowit.
I really wonder Whether I would coup Nigeria, seems like the most obvious target, or would I just fix? Okay, so he surrenders Venezuela. Ooh, that's
big
kind
miss.
of relevant. So shuttle to Nigeria. No, sorry, you cannot do. Oh, you have 2 Venezuela, 1 Nigeria. You can't afford more, sadly.
Yep, that is the right call. And now I think, would you expect the brush war here on Venezuela?
Depends. If he has a 3-op or a 4-op, perfectly playable one, then I would grab Nigeria here.
So I think we've seen all the 4s.
Well, there might have been a redraw. I mean, there was, I think,
Yes.
a redraw, so
Yes.
he might have gotten some that way. But he also has a lot of crap in his hand, so that's
Yeah, just a 3.
invitation to. Okay, just a 3. Okay, that was missed, so I might be tempted to use my unrest here, knowing about all the crap.
I like this
opponent's
better.
hand.
I think I like trying to hold East European unrest to make some real problems in Europe. I think
That's a good point. Okay, I'm very curious about which cards will Michael decide to give up. I mean,
Yeah,
really don't want to give up voice, so I think he will give up Kennedy.
Yeah, so if you space voice, you could hold Nixon. And he's not going to play Salt
Kennedy.
for Ops.
Right, that's one other out, another option. Okay. So
Jarib may be waiting for Kennedy here, and maybe he'll try and dump.
yeah, but one
Okay, I mean-
space is still reasonable. Chat to space.
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, I guess I'd like to get the headline peak if I'm Jarib.
No, come on, don't do that. No, why? Come on, India is more vulnerable even. That's.
I mean, maybe
that's
he
a
wants him to
waste.
break India so he can event the war. Jarib
That's a
does need
waste.
Milops.
Okay, so will it be Nixon? He makes the roll. Just make the coup. No, Kitchen should have been a coup in the Ivory Coast. He doesn't have the Milops. Unless he... Okay, just boosting everything in Asia.
Yeah, this suggests to me that maybe Jarib is going to go for the 1 and 6 in Pakistan, or maybe he's just hoping to discard it with Kennedy.
Yes, I would expect so. Now it's time for Michael to show his hand a little bit.
We know he's got Kennedy and Nixon. I don't recall what the 3rd card
Exactly.
is. I'm sure Jarib knows if it's not a redraw.
I guess Jarib was expecting the China play. Oh, okay,
That's an annoying redraw.
Right, so that's... I think that calls for unrest, maybe. Huh. Does it?
Ugh.
And...
Really want to
what's
hold
the-
that.
Yeah, so the one under Mexico, yeah, that one. Guatemala? I
Yeah.
always forget.
Guatemala,
I
yes.
always have trouble deciding in which situation is it good to accept a temporary losses position. Okay, no, you two guys are out.
I think I'm dumping both these and hoping I don't draw two.
Oh, okay, that's bad. Yeah, I would dump both, but still. Africa is so annoying. I mean, he waited with getting the Milops.
Yeah, now he's got to give up the 1 point in Africa,
And two.
and he's got to give up 2 for Milops, so now Michael's going to be in War Games territory on turn 8.
And Michael will definitely break something, like Venezuela. What? Really?
Just beef up here a little bit.
No, didn't like that.
Okay, so we must have missed on Nixon.
Right.
We must.
Seems so.
I think Jarib drew it earlier. So okay, missile envy, a little bit of a risk.
Yeah, especially since
not a
the villain
kind
sees
of
it.
helpful stuff here.
Alliance for Progress is awesome.
Yes, Alliance very strong. Nixon also could be strong. Definitely want to event that. Maybe not as a headline, but Yeah, I think you can't do missile envy. Yeah, yep. I like this play here.
I might still.
You might
I
still
know this
headline
is,
missile envy.
yeah, I think so. I mean, there's not a great chance of losing this game like this. Cuban Missile Crisis is gone, so it would have been a combination of duck and cover and Cal.
Yep, and then Stryker would have to headline something like "We will bury you."
Yeah. So the odds aren't that great for this to lose. And I really would like to blunt that Air 1 coup. Africa is unavailable, but so he would coup somewhere else. And I would really like that coup to be as low as possible. Another nuisance here once again gets nuclear subs when it doesn't really matter for Africa.
Yeah, nuclear subs isn't going to help him very much.
True.
Michael also on the doorstep of 3 VPs for space. Now, interestingly, so Pershing probably a good space target, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention Latin American debt crisis here. It could be a little bit of a problem with Venezuela sitting at 5-3. So I don't know if Jarib is thinking about that, but he may want to hold Pershing a little bit later.
Yeah, but his position is a bit weak, so he kind of has to ignore some threats.
Ouch. He's certainly not happy to see that.
Yeah, a boosted reformer. Once again, special relationship neutered. And a space blue card gets free. Okay, at least he missed that one. Okay, so I guess restore Europe.
I think you want to, so he missed on the roll, so I think you want to restore Europe.
1, 2, 3. You don't have any trios, so it's a 4-off.
You'd have to use your only.
Probably extra guy into France, because socialist governments are still around after all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter really. I mean, NATO is active, so.
So East European unrest would not have been that particularly strong because Stryker would have been able to see it and then immediately fix with reformer. Obviously, wouldn't have been able to do this much damage, of course.
But come on, France or something in the Middle East. Nothing else makes really sense here.
Yeah, Marine barracks bombing would be devastating.
Well, a little bit, but yeah, still have enough.
Oh, have we seen Brush War? Is Stryker's still just holding on to Brush War here?
Right, that's his hold card.
Yeah, decided to hold on to Brush War.
So maybe that's why the one in Colombia, to protect Panama and Venezuela, if lose anything then Brazil. So maybe a coup in Colombia for Michael?
I think Brazil is the most obvious target here. Yeah, it's
true, but Venezuela would have been even better if you can prepare it.
Yes.
Or Panama if you have the scoring also decent. Well, regardless, after you take Colombia.
And Brazil is the only one that is a coin flip. The rest are worse.
True, even Asia is untouchable.
Yes.
Once again, it's very hard for me to determine which side has an advantage here. Slightly better map for Jarib, and better score, space track, and possession of the China card for Michael. Of course, we see Jarib's hand. Okay,
and it's very nice for Stryker to get that out.
So China still, maybe.
Yeah, I think Nixon here makes a lot of sense.
Unless, I don't know, Israel, but...
Yeah, you could go Israel.
One problem is that this hand is so vulnerable to some ops breaks that if you even use nuclear subs here just to prepare for the final scoring, Michael can just start breaking stuff in South America, and there isn't that much you can do about it. You have one 3-op,
and you
which
really
you
don't want
really don't want to play.
Yeah, those battlegrounds were overprotected, but after Reformer, they're not. So that 3-op is really a 1-op. I mean, even a 0-op, because you also need to repair Spain-Portugal.
Yeah, and it costs 1 VP, so for all practical purposes, it's unplayable. So maybe
it's gonna
you
have
don't
to go
want to
space.
tempt the opponent. Okay, and he gets the 3. Ooh la la, that's dangerous. So once again, advantage swings on Michael's side. Yeah.
Oh, is he preparing to play Pershing? I wonder.
No, might be also just in case, socialists are coming back and stuff.
Yeah, overprotecting those European battlegrounds is always a good idea. Now, now certainly you can't give up Pershing or Indo-Pac. Okay,
Oops,
and that's a problem.
Okay,
so
now we switch into desperation mode. I think you no longer care about stuff like
There it is.
Yeah, space scoring sort of reminds me of Jarib's win in the in the Grand Slam in Beijing.